baguhan o matagal ng OFW?
Pamilya ng OFW, para sa iyo ang programang ito. Ito ang
People Inspire People! Every Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time.
From rising every morning to face the unknown, embarking on a path where the outcome is uncertain, or starting over when you've hit rock bottom. There are many factors that can hinder us every day. But what keeps us going? What gives us courage? The presence of our friends and loved ones? Doing good work reminds us of the vitality of life. Living our purpose and fulfilling our duties inside the Church of Christ.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to INCRadio Micronesia. I'm Sister Marisol Soria, coming to you from the local congregation of Afra Heights here on the beautiful island of Guam. Thank you so much for joining us today, but I am not hosting today's show alone. I am joined by my lovely sister co-host.
Yes, thank you, Sister Marisol, and half a day to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all those tuning in. I'm Sister Anne from the local congregation of Machinao, and I will be your co-host for the evening, as Sister Marisol mentioned. And I'm super excited for this week's topic because it's something that I feel like I need more knowledge on, as well as Sister Marisol too. So I'm excited to hear what our guests have to say about tonight's topic.
Me too, Sister Anne. So, I think it's a really healthy thing to have different hobbies, right? And also different ways to reflect on things going on in your life or different creative outlets. And so today we're going to talk about one outlet called journaling. Personally, I don't have a lot of experience in journaling. I had a diary when I was younger, or we shared a journal with some friends in middle school and high school that we would record our favorite memories in and just doodle in and then kind of pass it around and then look at it at the end of the school year. But other than that, I can't say I haven't had a lot of experience in it. What about you, Sister Anne?
Yes, I agree with you, Sister Marisol. I think the last time I really dedicated my time to journaling was when I was in middle school, like you said, when you were younger, right? And I think the last time I wrote it is like, Dear Diary, and you just write all your feelings. So I'm sure like now that we're older, there's a different system on how we can journal as a whole. So I'm excited to hear what our guest has to say about journaling itself.
Same. So to our listeners out there, we hope you're prepared to learn all about journaling tonight. And hopefully you'll leave tonight's show with ideas for a brand new hobby, because we have our lovely guest with us today, who we know out of all of us here on this call has the most experience when it comes to this awesome activity. Please welcome to the call, Sister Rizal.
Hi, I'm Sister Rizal.
Hi, Sister Rizal. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and kind of maybe give us an introduction on what is journaling for those who may not have ever heard of it?
Okay. Yes, I'm Sister Rizal. I'm from the locale of Guam, and I would say that journaling, like what you mentioned, it's like a hobby, like a chance for you to express your feelings, your thoughts, what happened throughout the day. But with the world now, or like with the growth of social media, there's just so many different aspects of journaling. For example, I read a lot, so I have a reading journal, or people who travel a lot, they might have a travel journal, or they even have like junk journaling where they get like random scraps, like receipts and trash, and they, make something from that. It's like random memories. And I feel like that's what journaling really is. It's just capturing your memories in different mediums, not necessarily through word, could be through images, could be through, again, physical objects.
Oh, that sounds so cool. I never thought of it to be like that, right? Like even when we were preparing for today's show, my first impression of journaling was split between, what Anne and I mentioned earlier, but then also, what you see on Pinterest, what you see on the pretty stationery stores, and I'm just like, wow, there's so much to do. I don't think I can handle that. What's your experience like in journaling, Sister Roselle, and how did you get into it?
So I got into it because, I thought of every day. I was like, I don't want to forget it. I want to remember, because I believe that in every day there's something worth remembering by. And at first, that's what I did. I started by talking about my day, um, and I would just randomly like write it down. But I figured out writing it on pen and paper wasn't really sustainable for me. So I do digital more, because it's like you can always journal on your notes app in your phone. It's more what is the word, like it's easier for you to get. And how I started it, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to document my day, and that's how it kind of happened.
Wow. I mean, that's a really good reason, right? I mean, that kind of brings us to tying it back to what we mentioned earlier, where it's a way to reflect. And we're kind of hopping around our different questions here, but for someone who's thinking about getting into it, what would you say to help convince them to start? Like, what are the benefits that you feel like
So
you've gained from journaling?
So there's definitely many benefits to like journaling. Again, it's a way for you to escape, to like reflect. And I also feel like, sometimes you might want to talk to a friend, but they're not always available. Or sometimes you just have very like things that you want to keep to yourself. And one of those things that you could do is that you could use your journal as an outlet. And again, just to remember, like when you travel often, you don't want to forget the memories. You can do a dedicated journal for that. And how to start, I feel like people think of it as like, oh, I need to dedicate time for this, 30 minutes, an hour just to start this. I need to write down everything that happens in my day from start to finish, what I ate in the morning. But I feel like the easiest way to begin is that just write. It doesn't have to be full sentences. You can literally be like, I did this today. Oh, went on a walk with my dog. Oh, read this book today. Oh, did, what I'm saying? Like, just little bunches of your day. And then when you get more into the flow of things, then of course maybe you want to write full sentences. I've seen apps wherein like, oh, for example, the weather is like cloudy, sunny, and then you just press whatever the weather is. Or what I did today was, oh, I went to work, so I pressed that. You know what I'm saying? So it takes the guesswork of what happened throughout that day. Or you could say, oh, I went on vacation, I pressed that button. And it makes it a lot simpler for you instead of like writing down, if you're more into app-based journaling. And then again, it's really good so that it regulates your emotional well-being. You're more aware, thinking about what happened throughout the day. How can you make the next day like better? So I feel like that's one of the great benefits of doing it.
Yes, I agree with Sister Roselle, and I feel like she explained it perfectly how we live in a world, a digital world, where it's so easy to journal in ways where you can use it through apps, right? And it's good that you can express yourself through like choosing your emotion, or like I think it really helps you, it benefits you, like your cognitive benefits, personal benefits, and even your mental health as well. So like Sister Roselle mentioned, it really helps you express your emotions like with no filter, right? You always want something to like list down your feelings, and I think we need that kind of escape in the day-to-day life, especially when life gets stressful, right? So I want to ask Sister Roselle, like, why do you think consistency? Because journaling, it becomes a habit, right? So like, why do you think consistency is so important when it comes to journaling or maintaining like your journaling schedule?
I think you can treat it like self-care. For example, when you start your skincare routine, right? You don't want to do that every day so that you see the benefits of it. I feel like it's like that. You can only reap the benefits of something worthwhile if you consistently do it. So that's why again people see it as like, oh, you need to dedicate like an hour 2 hours for this, but with modern apps nowadays that you can find online, it literally takes like 5 minutes. Or for example, I've seen things like there's templates online where it's like the 5 minute journal, where it's like just talk about three things that happened today, three good things, three things you want to improve, and that literally takes less than 10 minutes. um that's what I think. What happens with every habit is like you build small, slow steps, sustainable steps, until it becomes something that you're used to, that um you can dedicate more passion and more time onto it. Because I feel like if you go into a new habit, for example, like let's say you want to be healthier, if you're like, oh, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, not realizing that's like, it's almost 5 miles, then of course you're going to get burnt out. And I feel like that's where people fall from their habits. And that's why I'm saying start small, start slow, do something that you can stick to. For example, I'm in education. It's like when I have a break, then I can like write, or I can talk about my feelings, things like that. Or when I get, but that's how I feel like you should be consistent, so that you're not getting burnt out. Because it should be something that's like self-care, something that's like fun for you, something that's within your mind. And I feel like if you make it stressful, then of course you're not
Yeah.
going to want to continue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You don't want it to feel like it's like an assignment you have to do each day, right? So like consistency is important because in a way it teaches you how to create good habits. Even as you mentioned, if it's only a few minutes each day, that's good enough to kind of relieve that stress. And I think it's a good way to reflect your progress each day. So that's good that you have that habit of writing each day. Well, what do you think, Miss I'm not Miss Marisol, Sister Marisol? Sorry.
No, I totally agree. I think Sister Estelle brought up some really good points. I think that I could use a habit that'll help me build consistency and reflect on progress that I've made. Sometimes it's, with how busy we can get sometimes, you realize that time is passing you by so fast. Like, for example, for me, I can't believe I've already been here in Guam for a year. It feels like I just moved a few months ago, but then it's been over a year. And, I really enjoy looking back at old pictures or thinking about all the progress that's made. And I think journaling can serve, just based on our conversation alone, I think journaling would be a really cool way to look back on that. And listening to our conversation, it made me realize I have someone very close to me that has been very into journaling. My husband, Brother Neil. When we first met, he had been keeping a journal, and it was really cool that he was able to share a lot of memories with me from before we met, and I got to know him a lot through those journals, and that was really cool. And it is a way to connect with people that you feel comfortable sharing those memories with. And we really enjoy that. And it's something that we're trying to incorporate into making memories for our marriage now. Like, we're also still printing pictures and like writing captions and everything like that. So I wanted to ask Sister Roselle, because I really appreciated being able to share those memories with my significant other who had been journaling for years before I met him. Have you had moments where your journaling helped you connect with someone too? Or you
I
enjoy looking at those memories with others?
I wish, like, I have like, a lot of close friends in my life, but they're not the journaling type also. I have joined, like, for example, again, I said I read a lot, or I don't know if I mentioned that, but I do read a lot. So there's a lot of communities online, and you share. So I guess that's a form of like reading journals, like that's where we can connect. But no, I wish, because I feel like someone who journals a lot is also someone who's very emotionally aware, or like in tune with their self, because they're constantly reflecting. So you're very fortunate to have someone like that in your life, and I wish I had that also.
Yeah, and I
Well,
think it's funny, Sister Marisol, because usually you don't see guys journal that much. So I
I
think that was
know.
really interesting.
He's very
Yeah.
unique in that aspect.
Yeah.
Between that influence and also all of the tips that we're getting from Sister Roselle today, I'll get into it. So don't worry, Sister Roselle. You'll have journaling buddies with me and Sister Anne after tonight. Right, Sister Anne?
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay, so I know we talked about consistency, and I think I admitted that I am one that needs to work on my ability of consistency. So, what are some difficulties that you may have encountered when you first started journaling? Was there like any sort of choice paralysis with everything that you can choose from? I know I get overwhelmed sometimes, even though I'm very impressed walking into stationery stores and things like that. Like I get super excited, but also I've never had the guts to like go and choose all of the stuff I feel like I would need to start.
Yeah. Oh, so one of the difficulties I think most people encounter is like the the illusion of perfection, wherein, oh, again, I have to be consistent, I have to do this. The even till now, like, as much as I want to be consistent, life happens very quickly, especially as officers with all the activities that happens. It just piles by so quickly. And my best advice is that, take it one day at a time. Again, it shouldn't feel like an assignment, like what Sister Anne mentioned. It should be something therapeutic for you. So I guess that's my biggest advice, is that if you miss a day, then fine. You don't have to be consistent with it. Or again, even till now, like before, I would start off by doing like bullet points of like what happened throughout the day. But if that's too daunting for you, maybe just focus on, again, like things that made you happy, or things that you're grateful for, or things that you want to focus on and get better on within the day, but within the week, right? I feel like if you look too forward, too far ahead, then you're gonna think like, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot make this consistent, and that's where you kind of fall away from your habits. So that's my biggest advice for someone who's starting. And also, I personally journal on my, not sponsored by Apple, but my iPad. I do digital because, again, it's more beneficial for me. But if you maybe check different mediums, again, like what I said, there's many different apps. If you want to use paper and pen, I know some people, they just like the feel of that. But check different avenues, whatever feels or makes you happy. And again, if you don't like words, then take pictures, or maybe like reflect throughout the month, like what you have done instead. That could be a beneficial way to journal too, to look back on what you have done the past week, the past month. Yeah.
Wow, so many tips. I really hope all of our listeners benefited from this discussion today. And thank you so much, Sister Raquel, for sharing all of your journaling wisdom with us. It's really, really inspirational. And I'm hoping that I can stay consistent enough to call this a new hobby that I have. What about you, Sister Anne?
Yes, I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to start like the scrapbooking kind of like journaling that Sister Roselle mentioned earlier. So I'm going to put it on my list for the week.
Agreed, agreed. So before we close out this conversation, we want to give Sister Roselle a chance. If you have any shout outs you want to give, please feel free.
Hello. I don't know if I'm frozen, but if I'm not, oh, I'm okay. Oh, I would like to shout out. Well, I'm just kidding. I am frozen. I would like to shout out my family, of course, the locale of Guam, my parents, my sisters. I would also like to shout out specifically the locale of Guam choir, especially because I'm an organist in that locale. Who else? My friends, Sister Randy, Brother Ian, Brother Jed, who's not here. Yeah. Anyone else? Of course, to our dear Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Vimanalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranya Vimanalo, as well as our District Minister, Brother Joven Disapilio, and our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan.
Awesome. So much love, so many shout outs. Thank you, Sister Roselle, again for joining us today and for all of that awesome energy. So we're going to toss over to Sister Anne to hear from our YouTube chat.
Yes, thank you, Sister Marisol. And we have a lot of active commenters in the YouTube comments. I'm going to start off by reading. Our first comment of the night is from Brother Roger Manzanilla Jr. He says, hello, Pot, to all the brethren. And I also want to answer one of the questions from Sister Jade Pasha. She says, I prefer a physical journal just because I'm used to writing physically more and because I like writing on the spot sometimes. But having a digital journal is a very useful too. And also, Sister Jessica Tula, but she says, "Good evening, IC Radio Micronesia, watching from the local of Machinao. Hello, everyone in the local of Machinao." And we also have Sister Irene Reyes. She says, "Go, Sister Roselle." And also, we also have Sister Jade is a really active commenter for always. So she also said, very amazing advice to those who start on journalism. Just writing on the simple things that you did on a day alone is wonderful when just starting. Yes, I agree with you, Sister Jade. And we also have Sister Erin Villegas. She says, "Good evening po, District of Micronesia, hashtag Colderville, hashtag Booklod." And she also says, "Hello po to our District Minister, Brother Joven Cipilio Jr., and our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and to their families po. Hashtag Booklod, hashtag Coblerville." And we also have Sister Jamie. She says, "Hi, Ate Roselle. You're so pretty." I think we can all agree with Sister Jamie. And then also, who else? Let's see. There's so many comments. I want to read all of them. Sister Joy says, Sister Joy Federico says, "Good evening po everyone from the local of Coblerville." And we also have some more brethren. There's a lot from Coblerville. And we also have Sister Eileen Crelentia. She says, "Hello, INCRadio. Love from hashtag Jigo, hashtag Koror Palau, hashtag Buklod." And we also have our brethren from the local Jigo, the Luge family, and the Reyes family. We also have Sister Randy saying that scrapbooking is so fun at the Erin. And also, what else? Oh, Brother Edward Dela Cruz says, "Hi po Ka Joven, hi Ka Julius from the local of Jigo." Sister Marisol, do you see any more comments in the YouTube comments?
We have a few more that we want to mention. We have our district CFO supervising minister, Brother Roger Manzanilla Jr. He says, "Greetings from Guam. Hello to our district minister, Kajovan Cecilia Jr., and assistant district minister, Kajulius Malabanan." And he wishes happy belated birthday to Kajoy Kamba and Ka Angel Hernandez. Advance. Advance happy birthday. We also have comments coming from so many different places. We have a user AE who says, "I prefer a physical journal because I enjoy the feeling of actually writing and decorating the pages with colorful markers and stickers." Yes, I agree. Those are great points. We also have so many greetings from so many different locales. Sister Erin Villegas says, "Yes, scrapbooking counts, right? A mixture of photos and captions. I believe they call it bullet journaling now." Oh yes, I remember hearing bullet journaling a lot back in the day. But thank you so much to everyone who took the time to reach out to us in the chat. We love hearing and interacting with our listeners through the chat. And we love that we see everyone getting to connect with each other in the chat too. So thank you so much. And we can't wait to continue the conversation next week. With that, that brings us over back to Sister Anne for our CFO in action.
Yes, thank you, Sister Marisol. Now let's see what our district has been up to in our CFO in action.
CFO in action.
Thank you, Kuya Tech. Now, we recently had a Christian Employers Association 39th anniversary special gathering, and this also support the candidates for baptism. So we hope all the brethren were able to enjoy those activities. Now coming up in Micronesia's lineup, we do have a Binhi and a Kadiwa monthly meeting for the locals of Guam, Jigo, as well as Machanao. And there was also a film showing in the local of Machanao. So we hope everyone is looking forward to these exciting and wonderful activities. I want to now pass the mic to Sister Marisol to announce the winners from last week's broadcast.
as much as I would love to announce the winners from last week's broadcast, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until next week to announce those. So we're going to jump straight to inviting everyone to our show next week, which is going to be Friday, November 21st, 2025 at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow Standard Time. And next week, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about job interview preparation. So make sure you tune into that one because that one is going to be a very useful discussion as well. And that brings us already to the end of our show. Time goes by so fast when we're having fun, right? So first, we'd like to thank everyone who helps make our show happen every week. First and foremost, our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo. And Sister Anne, do you want to continue our thanks?
Yes, Sister Marisol, and we would also like to thank our District Minister, Brother Joven Cepilio Jr., as well as our Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Roger Manzanilla Jr., and our DMA Advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr., as well as our crew members in the island of Saipan, Sister Bam, Sister Jillian, Brother Matt, and for the island of Guam, we have Sister Arlene, Sister Randy, Sister Faye, Sister Gwen, Sister Maricel, Brother Randy, Brother Michael, Brother Sean, and Brother Joff, as well as our station manager, Brother Wali Taray, and our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel Endaya.
And with that, we're going to say good night, Micronesia, and that we cannot wait to see you next week. Thank you, everyone.